Welcome to the Hollywood Raw YouTube page, guys. We're happy to have you here. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us comments, do all the stuff.
What are you waiting for? Let's go. I got a drug addiction to feed.
Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. It is time for our Raw Rundown. It is that time of the week to get you caught up on all the stories you could have missed out in entertainment news. And Adam, let's get right into it. Yeah,
Let's
bud?
do it.
All right, so coming in at number 10, we've got Britney Spears is pregnant.
Dude. The way it came out was a crazy. Like, the announcement was weird. We read the post on Instagram, and it was very, like, cryptic in a way. We didn't know. She was like, is it you tell the story.
Yeah, so she posted this photo on, well, the photo had nothing to do with pregnancy or anything. It was just like one of the Britney Spears' random photos that she always posts. But in the comments or in the caption, she's like, so I took a test and I'm pregnant and I've got a baby in my belly, blah, 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 blah. And then just kind of goes on about all of the things. Like, that was her pregnancy announcement. Like, just in the middle of a random whimsical talk, she then throws out the fact that she's pregnant. I'm like, of course, in Britney Spears style, this is what I would expect, nothing less. How about that?
Dude, I mean, listen, I feel like everyone was very big on the free Britney stuff. And then as soon as she gets freed, they start to see the posts on Instagram like, wait, hold on. Let's think about this. The post was very weird. And then everyone started guessing. Everyone's like, wait, is this true? Is she pregnant? Like, this is so weird. Because you have to follow Britney on Instagram. She posts some, like, boob out type content. Not exactly her boob out, but like, her content's pretty wild.
There's a lot of freeing content, and I think that goes, like, I've said it before, I'm like, what is happening with her? And all of her fans will, defend her to the end of time and say, look, she's been wrapped up in this conservatorship. She hasn't been able to do anything on her own, and now she's finally able to be free and post whatever she wants. And if she wants to post pictures of her nips out, then that's what she gets to do. I'm still a little concerned for her. I'm not going to say that. I'm very concerned for her.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem 100%, but nevertheless, who's to be the judge of that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, we got confirmation because Kevin Federline, remember Kevin Federline? K-Fed?
Do I remember Kevin
man.
Federline?
You don't see him as much anymore, which I actually enjoyed K-Fed. I mean, it was kind of like I missed the K-Fed era. K-Fed released a statement saying Kevin is aware of Britney's Instagram post. This comes from Kevin's lawyer. Kevin is aware of Britney's Instagram post. He wishes her best for a happy and healthy pregnancy and congratulates her and Sam as they plan for an excitement of parenthood together.
Yeah, well, listen, K-Fed can't say anything because he's got 9 other children on the other side as well. No, he's got what, 3 other, I
Something
think,
like
plus
that.
the kids that he's got with Britney. But listen, K-Fed, I can say, is actually a really good father. He's the one that spends the majority of time with Sean and Jaden. But he has nothing to say. I don't care what K-Fed has to say, but I'm happy for Britney if Britney is happy, and I hope that she kind of unfortunately got robbed of motherhood on the last 2, so maybe she's looking to like really feel that motherly need. I don't know what to say about this one.
No, listen, she's pregnant. Congrats, Britney. I'm excited for this next chapter on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Number 9.
Entertaining us on Instagram. All right, so coming in at number 9, Elon Musk offers to buy Twitter for $43 billion.
Cash.
The cash. This is crazy. So if you've been following this, Elon became one of the stakeholders in Twitter recently. I think it was like 9.3% stakeholder in Twitter. He put down a couple billion for that, but now says, look, I don't want to be on the board. I actually want to own Twitter, and I'm going to give it at a stock price of it. I think it was like $53 or a share, and I just want to buy it out, make it a private company because I want freedom of speech. I think that this platform has conformed to certain things that it's not going in the right direction, and to really turn it around and make it this like popular thing that it should have been or it should continue to be, someone has to own it personally, and I want to be that person. And so now that the board is coming together. They're considering his offer. There's some people that have come out and said, nope, it's worth more. We should be getting more for it. But I think, honestly, if they don't take his money, I think Twitter will die off.
I could see that. I definitely see that.
And I feel that Twitter is already decline. It's been declining for a very long time. People have found other ways, between Instagram and TikTok, like all these other platforms have been getting really successful, and the Twitter algorithm sucks. I gotta say, it sucks. So
Sure.
I think him talking about it already made it more interesting, and the stock value started to rise and people got interested in it. I think he could turn Twitter around. And I think that if he says no, people are going to go, okay, well, Twitter's dying instead.
I agree with you. I mean, this is such balls. I mean, Elon's got so much on his plate with Tesla, and just say, listen, I want
SpaceX? I mean, SpaceX
SpaceX as
and
well.
Tesla together.
He's the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. I mean, and then say, you know what, I'm going to buy, Twitter for this much money. I mean, this is an insane amount of money, and it's really for him. I think it's just more of a passion project. It's where I just believe that much in the free speech, and I mean, what a ballsy thing to do. And he's serious too.
He's totally serious.
He's so serious.
He loves the platform. He loves his whole big thing. He keeps saying it's like freedom of speech. People should be able to say what they want. Like stop the censoring shit. Blah blah blah. Okay. So, but here's I want to put it into perspective. That money, the 43 billion, that's 6% of his net worth.
That's insane.
43 billion dollars is only 6% of his net worth.
That's, you know how wild that is?
It's crazy. And I think that he looks at it and goes, even if I spend 43 billion, I'm going to make it back because Tesla is booming right now and SpaceX is like becoming the next big thing. So I think he's like, I'm going to continue being the richest man in the world. I'm not even concerned.
Wow. Dax, you have a Tesla. You like it, right?
I freaking love it. It is the greatest car. It is so dope. I feel like I'm flying around a spaceship every day.
Yeah, Dax drives a Tesla. That's thanks to you guys. The podcast is going well. Thank you guys. Yeah, so that's all right. All right, what's number 8?
My car farts as it drives down the street. It's so dope. All right, number 8. Oh, dude, this was a sad one for us this week. Well, for everyone, but Gilbert Gottfried, the comedian, died at the age of 67. He had a heart condition that he was dealing with for a very long time, and he passed away this week, which was so crazy because we just had him on the podcast. Like, what was that? January, we had him on to talk about Bob Saget's death, and now we're sitting here talking about his death.
It's wild. Gilbert was, I dealt with Gilbert a lot over the years. I knew his wife, Dara, and he was very unique in a way, but always very nice. He was always very fun. He was always very good to me. It's a bummer, man. And I don't think nobody, at least outside his inner circle, knew what he was going through or what he was suffering from. I dealt with Gilbert so much over the years. You'd see him walking around New York. He was always good to me. He came on the podcast. He was fun. He had great stories. It was fun. There's 2 different Gilberts. There's a Gilbert when you got him going and got him crazy, or he said really dirty jokes and went crazy on stage. And then there was a Gilbert where, like you saw on our podcast, where he was just normal and had great stories about how he got on SNL and what it was like, as a comedian. Like he was actually a really interesting interview in person to talk to. But there was 2 different Gilberts, the performer one and the real Gilbert. So it's just sad. It really is sad. Gilbert, famous voice, problem child. He did the voice of the parrot in Aladdin, the Affleck duck.
Affleck,
yeah, rest in peace to Gilbert Gottfried. What a good guy.
No kidding, man. And did you see that photo of it was him, Bob Saget, and Louis Anderson?
Yeah.
And he had posted that being like, rest in peace to my 2 friends. And now he's the 3rd one in that photo and they're all gone.
I mean, now it just made me crazy. Yeah, it's wow. I forgot Louis, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll miss you, bud. All right. So number 6 and number 7. Listen, there's so much going on right now with the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard big court battle, the defamation case that he is throwing out at Amber, and so I can't keep up with all the details. However, we have our friend Danielle from the podcast Innocent Till Tipsy. She has been in the courtroom all week, watching this trial go down, watching Johnny, watching Amber, watching the depositions, everything. So I figured, who better to present our number 6 and number 7 than someone who is there live in person? Danielle, can you give us an update on this court case from this week?
Hi, I'm Danielle Delalio from Innocent Till Tipsy. You also may know me from my TikTok account at DelaliOD. Very original, my last name, first initial. But I have been in Fairfax, Virginia all week in person in the courtroom for the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. It's been crazy. Tensions are high. It's definitely like a family court battle, it feels like. We've been hearing testimony, audio, all video, all sorts of things directly from the couple and those who knew them closely. The most crazy testimony definitely came from Johnny's one of his best friends, Isaac Baruch. Very emotional, and he called Amber out and said right to her face that everything has been a hoax. And it was just very emotional to watch. The tensions have been high between the entire courtroom's been filled with Johnny Depp supporters, and tensions have been high between those of us who have been on social media and speaking loudly about the case for years, between us and Amber's team, who have been looking through tweets, doxing us, doing all sorts of things to try to get us out of the courtroom. So it's been a highly dramatic week. Lots of new stuff coming to light in the case. I'll be so interested to see where the case goes. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It is a defamation trial, so I really don't know which side is going to come out the winner in this, if any side. But for now, thanks so much, Dax and Adam, for having me on, and I'll see you later.
Thank you, Danielle. Make sure you check out her podcast, Innocent Till Tipsy. It's on the Heard At Media Network. Danielle has been in the heart of it all week. She's actually, check out her YouTube. She's put a lot of work into covering this case and both sides, and it's a wild story. And I don't know when it's going to end because it's just, there's so many different variables to the story, but make sure you check out Danielle's podcast, Innocent Till Tipsy. Live on the Heard At Media Network. All right, what's the next one?
Next one, number 5, Hailey Bieber pleading with trolls online to just leave her alone already. You know, she has gotten so much crap over the years, just literally for being associated to Justin Bieber. There are so many people out there that are just the fans of Justin that are just jealous of she's the one that landed him. So it's constant hate, 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 and people throwing Selena Gomez references at her. So she went on and she said, "Leave me alone at this point." And this is her quote: "Leave me alone at this point. I'm minding my business. I don't do anything. I don't say anything. Leave me alone, please. Enough time has gone by where it's valid to leave me alone. I beg you, truly. It's my only request. Leave me alone. Be miserable somewhere else, please." And you got to listen. I feel for her on
I
this
do. I get it.
because if you ever go to one of her posts, she could post something so just tame and innocent, not even about Justin, and the comments fill up with Selena Gomez is better. You know, I love Selena Gomez. Like, people are just dicks, man.
It's actually, I think at one point, again, it's her battle, not ours, but at some point it's got to be funny on her end. Like, dude, what are you guys doing? Like, we're married. It's been a few years. Like, just chill.
Well, that's the thing. I think she's just like, get over
I
it.
know.
Like, it's not happening. Selena doesn't want Justin. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
It's a wild thing. It's a wild that people just have the energy to just feel like this is what they need to do. It's so stupid. Guys, harass someone who deserves it. Like someone like Cuba Gooding Jr. I don't know. We'll get into that one. But no, guys, can we move on and just kind of troll someone else? Like Hailey Bieber,
Serious.
she doesn't do anything wrong. She actually seems very nice, sweet, and innocent. She's with Justin Bieber. Justin's actually doing pretty well. He's putting out good music. He's on tour. She's doing nothing wrong. Troll someone else, please, just not us.
I mean, you can troll us. I mean, the more comments just fuels the algorithm.
Okay,
We're
go
down
for
for
it, guys.
it.
Yeah, go for it. It's all right.
All right, coming in at number 4, Kim Kardashian, well, allegedly photoshopped Pete Davidson's nose in an IG post. This is hilarious.
so
and I
funny.
don't think I actually believe it. You know what? I can screen grab this and throw it up. So if you are watching the visual version of this on YouTube, I'm gonna throw this up right now. Let me get it. It's gonna take me a second though. Here we go. And I'm almost there. I'm almost there. All right. Well, I'll keep talking about. Basically, there's a post that she put up. It was her and Pete in a restaurant, and they're all like snuggling together, close. This is right after the Hulu's premiere for her new Kardashian show. Here it is. People are saying she photoshopped his nose and his jawline. So the picture on the left, if you're listening to the podcast, it's more of he's got like a little bit of a bump on the top of his nose, the bridge of his nose, which seems to be gone in the post that she put up. And then his chin, he's got more of like a. How do you describe that chin, Adam?
I mean, it's not a bad chin.
It's not a bad chin,
not.
but it looks different from the one she posted, because the one she posted looks more like a manly cut jawline,
Sure,
right?
yeah, he's got more of a fierce, strong facial structure.
But here's my thing. I listen, the Kardashians are known to Photoshop and manipulate. And by the way, shout out to Page 6. I stole this photo from them. Putting it up there. But, you know, I don't think she would do this. I think that this is such a minor detail, and I think people are looking at it from like a certain angle where it looks a little different, but I don't think she did that.
Yeah, even if she did do it, I don't care. Like, listen, we know people Photoshop. We put filters on our photos. It's okay. Like, let's stop at the whole Photoshop war. Sometimes it looks a little bit more. I think Khloe screwed up this week and Photoshopped a little too much on one of her photos at Disneyland this past week.
Oh, no, not Photoshop too much. She literally put True into a photo on top of Stormy.
It's funny.
Like, what?
If I was them, I'd play into it more. I would start photoshopping crazy things. Like, start photoshopping your kids taking a photo with, like, Martin Luther King Jr. Like, just some random stuff. Like, oh, my God, look who we ran into, Martin Luther King Jr. You know? It's just so – let's stop with the photoshopping troll. Like, oh, we caught you. It's too much work. It takes too much energy to kind of go through the Photoshop FBI. Like, just fucking let's go, people. Let's focus on some other stuff. Let's push Elon to take over Twitter. Like, this is just, I don't have a problem with her photoshopping if she did. However, I don't think Kim did any photoshopping with this Pete photo.
I don't think she did either. And I would say the Khloe one is a very funny story, because she legit got caught photoshopping her child on top of another child's face and saying that they were at Disneyland. It's so great. Okay.
All right, number
moving
3,
on.
Kid Leroy. You told me about this Kid Leroy thing. Tell me what's going on here.
Yes. So Kid Leroy and Scooter Braun, there was this whole thing that came out where it looked like Kid Leroy was beefing with Scooter Braun and basically saying, like, the worst mistake I ever made was partnering up with Scooter Braun. Come to find out, it was all fake. It was a whole publicity stunt. Scooter revealed the screen grabs where Kid had reached out to him and said, hey, I've got an idea. You know, I've got a new song coming out. I want to promote the song, but the best way to do that is with controversy. And so do you mind if we kind of start up a beef, or a fake beef, get everyone talking? They're going to go listen to my new song. And it worked like a charm. I think when Kid posted this TikTok, it got like 50,000 views in like 20 minutes, or 50,000 likes in 20 minutes, or something ridiculous. So there is no beef. He is no longer with Scooter Braun. That partnership ended. That's why it kind of worked well. And, you know, it plays into the whole beef with Taylor Swift and all of that. It worked.
Yeah, it worked. Listen, Scooter Braun, he's good at what he does. He understands the game. You know, this guy, he's been around for a little bit now, over a decade now, and he understands the game of it. So I don't understand why they sort of parted ways in the beginning. And it seems like it's still amicable. Like,
so I know why. So Kid Leroy had said that when he signed the deal with Scooter Braun, he wanted to have more one-on-one with Scooter. Like, Scooter would be directly kind of like overseeing him and his music, and it was more of Scooter's team. And for him, he was like, Scooter is the man with the brain here. I want to work with him. And it just didn't happen, so he moved on.
I'll tell you what, though. I don't think I know who Kid Leroy is if it wasn't for Scooter. So I
True.
think he owes a lot of his career. Was this a good move for him? I
Well,
don't
think
know.
about how many people you could say that about when it comes to huge musicians: Ariana Grande, Taylor. Sorry, not Taylor. Justin Bieber. Yeah, a lot of these people.
Yeah, I think. Listen, for the PR stunt, I thought it was very good. It worked. Smart move. With that said, as a business move, leaving Scooter, I'm curious how this does for him. I don't know.
Well, if you're not getting any FaceTime with Scooter, and he's not the one overseeing your project, how long is it going to last?
I don't know.
Might as well be working with someone else at that point.
I get it.
All right, let's move on. Number 2, Cuba Gooding Jr. has pleaded guilty to forcible touching in his long-running groping case. I always get messed up with that word, pleaded. Like I want to say pled guilty, but
Yeah.
it's pleaded. It's weird. All right, so anyway, he's got 3 cases going on simultaneously for a couple different women that he allegedly touched. Well, do we say allegedly at this point if he's pleaded guilty?
I don't.
I guess because it's one. One he has pleaded guilty to. The other ones I don't know the status of those ones. But if you remember, these all go back to allegations back in like 2018, 2019. He was accused of squeezing a breast of a 30-year-old woman at the Moxie Hotel in June 2019, then pinching the buttocks, as they put it, of a Tao downtown server in October 2018, and then forcibly touching a woman inappropriately at Lavo in New York, and a New York nightclub back in September 2018. He's just out there throwing hands around. You can't do that. Come on, bro.
It's listen. I've seen Cuba Gooding Jr. out at bars a lot, and he parties, man. He parties, and I've seen him at bars that I shouldn't seen Cuba Gooding Jr. at, and it's wild. He goes to he. So I saw him at this party in I saw him at this dive bar in Miami, and he was wasted, and he's got like this long like chin beard, like he looks like a biker type guy, and everyone knew he was there, and it was like so random to see him there, and then all of a sudden I was like, fuck, I was with a buddy of mine, I was like, we got to talk to him, I got to say I talked to him, so I went up and started talking to him, I told him what I do, and then he got very weird, like he got like this weird energy, and then he was just like, I was like, no, dude, I'm cool. Like, I'm not here to work on a story. I'm just having drinks. And he told me the girl he was with like Robert De Niro's ex-daughter-in-law or something like that. Or it could have been, again, I'm going to screw up the story, but it was something like that. And it was weird. They were all over each other making out. He was definitely a big drinker. And we took this photo together and it was really funny. And we were fucking bombed. But, yeah. But, I mean, listen, it's a weird thing because it's like, is he guilty?
Well, he won an Oscar. Now he's like just trolling bars.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think that comes with what we've talked about before. Like, fame is a drug, and when fame starts to kind of like go away for people, they get weird. And if you got to imagine, if you're not getting that attention, but you're Cuba Gooding Jr., you can go into a bar and now you're the most famous person in the room and everyone's excited to meet you and talk to you and all that kind of stuff. That power comes back.
Sure. There's definitely energy with it. Listen, there's no winners in this case. You know, it sucks for everyone. Hopefully, everyone comes out better. Some people come out relieved. I don't know. It just sucks.
Yeah.
But now the story is done. Finally, the Cuba Gooding Jr. Let's go to the number one story of the week.
Number one story of the week, Kaylee Kuko from the hell was that show again? Big Bang Theory. Kaylee Cuoco says she will never get married again. Absolutely not. And that is a quote. She has been married twice. Those marriages both ended. And she did a whole cover story for Glamour magazine for their April cover and basically said, listen, I'm not lying. I will. You can quote me, never get married again. You can put that on the cover because she goes, and don't confuse that with like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm down to have a partnership. I'm down to be in a relationship. I like dating people or having a long-term commitment, but I don't want to walk down the aisle again. It has not gone well. And I think she also says it because she's been crazy famous during those times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, people were excited to see her get married and then watched it crumble. So excited to see her get married, watch it crumble. And I think she's tired of that. She doesn't want that focus in her life anymore.
Yeah, listen, it's a strong statement, but it's not a bad statement. It's a personal statement, and that's what's best for her. She's a huge star. You know, Hailey she's on the flight attendant show. She just did something, I believe she just did a movie with Pete Davidson. I think we're all still curious who she's going to end up with next. Is it going to be someone famous or is it going to be someone who's not famous? She has dated other famous people before. She's been in a lot of relationships, most of them public, just because we see it. Curious what happens next, but it's a bold statement. I'm just more surprised that people are still doing like these cover shoots and like put out these strong statements for like a magazine, like how it goes down. Like, okay, Hailey, we're going to put you on the cover, but we need something to get people open the magazine. What can you tell us that will get people to read Glamour? Okay, you're never going to get married again. Boom, we're going to go with that. That's going to be the cover.
And the sad part is I think I read that quote on another website, and that's as close as I'm going to get to the magazine.
Yeah. I want to know how the media works now as far as with magazines, like especially with interviews like that. Okay, does that kind of go hand in hand? Like, hey, we'll put you on the cover, but you have to give us something that's going to make people want to read it.
All right, we gotta wrap this up. We are 5 minutes past our 20-minute time we promised people to do the Raw rundown. So we are done. That gets you caught up on all the biggest entertainment stories of the week. Head you into the weekend feeling knowledgeable about entertainment news. You can check us out on all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, the YouTubes. You can just search Hollywood Raw where you can find us. Like we said before, there's a digital or video version of this podcast up on YouTube that we upload twice weekly. We've got a regular podcast and then obviously these rundowns. You can follow Adam Glyn at Adam Glyn. You can follow me at Dax Holt. Until next time, see you later. Guys, hope you liked that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.